Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final hour of Witcher Bloodletting.
Oh yeah, I hate that. Oh wait, were we live?
Yes, we are. So, flash forwarding a little bit, obviously the crowd, they're very happy about the fact that the chilling speech, the rousing speech done by Bran at the end of everything that was done. Hi puppy, yes, I love you. The speech done by Bran at the end of you guys killing the werewolf, the actual act of killing the werewolf itself, and how intimidating and loud and frightening this thing is. The townsfolk are genuinely happy with what you have done. You have been offered to head to the pub and drink all night with them if you choose to do so, or you can choose not to. They're all celebrating whether or not the Witchers are there, but do you guys think you'd want to go along with it or no?
I want all of their finest women. As many as I can get in bed with me.
So, the mayor doesn't know this yet, but you have already slept with his wife and both of his daughters. You just only got caught with one of them. That might be the end of we discussed this prior to the game.
Now you just need to sleep with the mayor to establish dominance.
There you go. So again, it's one of those things where it's good luck, friend. You go out there, you go to party. I imagine Bran and Leonard are less about the carousing and more about serious matters.
Yeah, I might be using my charisma to get me through life, but no, it's fine. They can party. We can get the shinies.
Maybe we can see the mayor, talk to him.
Okay, so you guys will join into the event later on.
I will say, before I go to, get my groove on, I do lean over to Leonard and I'm like, if you find my sword, would you mind bringing it to me?
Your steel sword?
Yes.
Sure, yeah. I'll
anything of mine, basically.
What does it look like?
Just find a weapon. I'm busy. I need to... There's a lot of ladies right
My
now.
people need me.
My assistance.
More than half the town's already made its way to the pub, and the rest of them are kind of dragging along, and you're just seeing there's so many skirts. I must follow them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not caught up too into this conversation.
Okay.
I'll find you something, Bastion. No worries.
So he runs off. The two of you guys stick behind to start looking over the house and kind of taking the rest of the details that you have here. So describing what is inside. Well, first of all, let me just say you do not find your Witcher school medallions here. They're actually not inside Carver's home, which is is often a something that could be the difference between life and death for a Witcher. It's a very important tool for you. But you don't find them inside the home. So as I described beforehand, he's a bit of a serious man, well kept, and he has books and whatnot there. So kind of looking about what he has in the house, you do see several different weapons are there for you to grab from. When I say several different weapons, I mean for steel weapons, no silver. He has a few daggers, he has a battle axe, he has a war hammer, some swords. It literally is one of those. I mean, obviously characters aren't going to be greedy and throw everything onto a wagon and walk away with it. But you have your pick of what kind of weapon you would want to take as you walk away from here. If you were also looking to take coin, ... Okay.
He doesn't need it anymore.
If you're also looking to take coin, you can actually find that this that the guard here has about 217 gold pieces. If you want to write that down, any one of you, doesn't matter.
Does he have wife and kids?
He does not.
Then I'll take it.
217 gold. 111 silver, and about 85 copper.
So Bastion didn't see the money, right?
Nope.
Bran,
Anything of his, but money gets lost.
Bran, your rescue was very well appreciated. I'll just let you keep the money. I've got my own penance.
All right, if that is your decision.
Okay. Did you write down those numbers there, Rick?
I did, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Don't worry.
So, so you take the coin, and it's a bit heavy. It's a good amount of coin for you to throw into your bag. You're definitely going to want to convert that up or grab writs or whatever it is along the way, because that's some higher shelf. But or gems that have value to them. Looking around his home, like I said, you do find those weapons as well. But what really catches your eye is the books that he has there. So looking at the books, you can actually see there's different books there of like history of like the convergence, and there's the elves as they were, and then another book later on that says elves as they are. There's later on a book it says the deep minds and the rats that live within. Like there's a whole bunch of different types of books that describe all the different non-humans. Many of these books you read with your Witcher upbringing that gave you like an understanding of them. But there are a few that are titles that you don't believe you've ever read before, and so they kind of catch your eye. But particularly one of them that does, and it's actually a book in there that's it's Monsters and Melodies, is what it's called. And so this is a book that talks about many of the different monsters that exist in the North, and the types of like diseases and whatnot that they bring with them, like typical kinds of curses that can go there. Now the book isn't in great shape, but as soon as you open it up, you know, like when you open up a book, very often it's just like, it's one of those things where I used to always say, I know exactly how to get to my 2-weapon fighting page in my 3.5D PHP. I take the book and literally open up to it. No creases, no anything. Because I've had that page open so long, it just so as soon as you open the book, it just falls open to lycanthropy. And on there, it starts talking about like the details of like what lycanthropy are, and you can see like little notes written off to the side, and things that are cures and whatnot. And when you realize that, you notice that on top of the bookcase itself, you actually see a little bit of a few different herbs that are there. So you know that one of the things that you usually use for lycanthropy is belladonna, but instead of having like belladonna, he actually has like, you know, other herbs that are very similar, like mistletoe and stuff like that. It looks very, very, very similar to the actual part of belladonna that you need to fight lycanthropes. Like he was trying to work this stuff together, but wasn't successful in his endeavor. Reading the notes, the annotations he has in there, he didn't put 2 and 2 together that he was the werewolf, but he did realize that what was going on in the town was a werewolf, and so he was trying to discover his own way of defeating this creature.
I feel if he didn't know he was a werewolf, it must have been out of pure arrogance and ignorance, just ignoring the signs of him waking up naked in his own home, that sort of thing. Like, I feel like he probably just ignored all signs that pointed to it, because he's like, no, it can't be me. So I'm gonna
mention the fact that he literally got cursed by a witch.
Yeah, like he knows he got cursed. So I'm gonna keep that in my mind and be like, you know, maybe he's not as great as we're selling him, but you know, it's the town, it's their guy. I'm not gonna interfere with it. Just gonna keep the book.
Okay. So you just take the book and you throw it into your own pack, and again, Monsters and Melodies. Honestly, it's not a it's a book that, like I said, you've never read that one before, because it's a very, very simplistic. So when Witchers do their studying, they have libraries and libraries of books that go into all these crazy details. But a book like this was meant to be the layman's version of that, something that can take somebody that knows absolutely nothing about the creatures that exist in this world, and teach them of the basics of these kind of monsters in a simplistic ways. It's not going to give you all the insight that you should have, but at least you can kind of identify creatures on sight. So anyways, you guys look about the house, and those are the details that you're able to take in. As for where this witch is or anything like that, or this hag, whatever one wants to call it, was that cursed him, you don't see anything that says like, I was at this location, or maps of this location, but you are able to do a little bit more investigating. Roll for me investigation for that. This is both of you guys. So the two of you guys are working together, looking throughout the house, trying to find what you can. And it's one of those things where you, Leonard, are looking to find signs of you know, his like, again, it's that idea of like maps and stuff like that. It's actually Bran who, thinking more like a commoner, thinking more like somebody that would live in this place, Bran is in his town. He's had people that have moved in from outside of town, and whenever that happens, people are like, where did they come from? Do you know their story? And the way that they discover these things aren't based off of, like, if there's a map to that location or books from that location. It's literally things like their boots and their clothes. Like, different regions have, like, known little iconic ways of doing, like, stitchings, or like the type of leather or quality of tanning that they have. And so for Bran, it's one of those, he goes over and literally looks at the guy's boots, which the extra pair of boots that he has inside the house, and checks those out and sees things like that. And he comes to the realization that he actually was, and I didn't pull my map up before I started talking. There it is. There we go. So it is very likely that what is it? Hedern region. So to the north, maybe even as far up as like Ben Gleen is the region that this guy came from. So his accents didn't give him away, his demeanor and looks didn't give him away, but the kind of clothing and whatnot, because maybe he's from here originally, but the clothing that he's wearing and the stitchings and all that leads you to believe he came from up north. That's Bran. And do you guys do any RPing with one another while this is happening?
I imagine we're just currently kind of busy looking stuff over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, oh, found this. Oh, check that out. Oh, smell this over here. Oh, never mind. You know, little things like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is the clinking coin purse as we're looking.
Let me take a look at those weapons you said you had, the steel ones.
Sure. And
What's
so honestly, if you just Google 5e weapons or D&D 5e weapons,
he just has all of them.
Yep, and you're proficient with all simple and martial weapons, so you can more or less pick what you would like. The only thing that's limited is ranged weapons. He doesn't have those. So,
Okay.
but more or less, he has like an armory that you can choose from.
In his home?
Mm-hmm. Well, so he doesn't have literally all those weapons, but he has a few assortment of weapons that come down to meta decision. What you choose to take was a weapon that happens to be in that stockpile. So,
Gotcha.
So and you could assume one of those was your weapon prior. So just like one of the things that you will notice without question is you're actually going to see a shield there that has like a griffin emblazoned upon the shield, but it's going to be this old wooden shield that's like battered and stuff like that. So that Bastion's that took from his home when he left there forever ago. So this battered old shield.
Yeah, I'll take that and just like kind of throw it on my back and make sure I give it to Bastion when I see him next.
But like Bastion, what's your other weapon? Your steel weapon, what is it?
It's normally a longsword.
So longsword, gotcha. So you go longsword, greatsword, the standard setup, whereas Leonard's silver sword is short sword, but his steel sword could be something else. So,
Right.
The word you're looking for as you're looking throughout that is finessable or finesse.
Yeah. Do we know if there's rapiers in this universe? I'm trying to remember.
So
I don't think I've ever seen one.
rapiers technically do exist. However, you wouldn't use a rapier per se. You would use a saber. So if you're familiar with fencing, there are three different types of. There's the épée, there's the saber, and then there's the other one. And so a saber is like what you would see like. It's like an actual bladed weapon. So that would be a rapier.
Okay. Take a saber.
Sure. If that's what you think that your school would have used.
I think they might have used daggers. I honestly can't remember. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. No problem. I mean, I understand wanting to have that D8 with your dexterity, like the steel weapon. So you're like, well, my silver weapon's already a D6, so why not have my steel one be the good one? So I get that. It's like opposite of how Bastion did it. So you grab more or less a saber or you can write rapier on your sheet. Doesn't matter for your steel weapon. Cool. And you also find over in an area outside of his house and like a locked. So aside from your swords, the rest of your stuff, songs, your medallions, that's actually what you're going to find locked up in a chest outside the house. This includes like your armor and stuff like that, the things that were actually taken from you. So you guys were able to get that back. I believe you wear leathers there, Leonard. I think you wear like studded leather. And then
yes.
I think Bastion wears, was it splint mail or somewhere along those lines? So some sort of medium armor.
Yeah, something like that.
Hi, puppy. Go. Don't worry, I'll take you out in a little bit. I'll take you out and I'll be late to Ollie's call. It's okay. It'll make him happy. It's okay.
I was gonna say I keep seeing his tail pop up in the corner wagging, but I don't think people on stream can see it because it's like just
No, she's very enthusiastic wagging. It's great.
Come here,
It is-
puppy.
Aw.
1, 2, 3, up. Rarg. Okay, there we go. So, so yeah, you guys kind of finish up your research and everything that you can discover there. You realize that it's very likely that where he came from recently, prior to moving here a couple years ago, was somewhere up north, over near like the Bangleen region. But that's pretty much all you're able to discover. Bastion, you guys you're able to head to the tavern. There's a bit of partying that goes on over there. There's drinking, there's crowds, and so on and so forth. Now you're kind of an idiot, and you're drinking. So I need you to roll me an insight with disadvantage.
All right. It's a disadvantage.
That makes sense. So you think everybody's having a great time. You're all having fun. Woo! Shots. And,
Got a lady on each side of my lap.
Yep. And you're having a lot of fun with that, right? So eventually, you're drunk when the other two come rolling in. I imagine you don't just straight up hand his stuff to him. Like, hey, here's a sword in the middle of a room. But here's your armor. But you guys do meet up with him, situate a spot where you can, like, you get told, hey, you can spend the night here if you want to. You can have our barn for as long as you need it. And you go to meet up with him at the place. He's drunk. He's having fun. When you guys both go in there and take like a bit of time kind of absorbing the scene and having drinks, I know you're a lot more reserved. Both of you guys are welcome to roll the insight checks, but you can roll it normal.
all right.
These are my people.
Jesus, man. Rick is crushing it. For Christ's sakes. So, Leonard, you get the feeling that while they're having a good time, so on and so forth, not everybody here is happy that the Witchers and whatnot are about doing that. You can clearly get that vibe. But like it's just like you see that with a few of the folk around. It's definitely the innkeeper, the tavern owner and stuff like that. So you get that vibe off of them, but it's nothing that you think is dangerous or that they're going to act upon. Bren, you take that one step further. You can pinpoint which ones are tossing the dirty looks from time to time, because they don't really toss them your way, because not everybody saw you use magic. You were out by the back door hurling spells into the window, right? So not everybody saw that. So their guard is down a bit around you. But more than that, you can see that one of those people is the mayor of the town. And he's clearly very upset by the fact that you guys are still about and drinking and being celebrated. Like he's got this look on his face. He's not happy at all. Especially since as you're watching this and watching that happen, Bastion points at the daughter that he was caught with. And he's like, hey, you're the real hero here. You made this all happen.
You gave me the motivation to carry on.
And there's just that scowl on his face.
All right, good to know.
Maybe I've given him a little bit of credit too.
Do you guys choose to engage with anybody with any noteworthy RP this evening, or are we just going to flash forward?
I think we should just pull Dunce out, give him his stuff in private.
Oh, come on, guys. I was having fun.
You know what? Maybe hold out until he's sober. Then we'll give him his swords.
Yeah, so next morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. You had mentioned wanting to speak to the mayor. I didn't know if you still intended to.
Yes.
Okay,
He's
tonight or tomorrow?
Dirty looks, right?
Yeah.
If he has a bad time, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Okay, so you just kind of more or less stay there and keep an eye on Bastion, make sure he doesn't get you guys all back into trouble, and then eventually lead him away from the event where he's having a bit too much fun. Go ahead, puppy. So you do that, and the next morning you guys wake up. Bastion has a splitting headache, and it's one of those like, oh, I really need some like White Rabbit or whatever it is to clear that up, but just doesn't have the supplies for it on him at the moment. And you guys can armor and arm and all that. How
hurt are they? Because we've had a long rest and everything resets, but...
So the way that this game works, part of one of the alternate rules that we use to run the Witcher universe is that to heal during long rests, all you do is you roll HD. That's how you heal during long rests. So healing takes a lot longer. And then overnight, you also can regain HD overnight. So that being said, do you know how to roll HD, the two of you?
So I just click hit dice?
Correct, in the center of the screen. You have 3 of them.
Where is that?
Okay. It's right above where your weapons are, I believe.
You want me to roll off him?
Yeah, I see it.
So you guys healed the amounts that you rolled. Where does that put you at?
21 out of 22.
I'm at 20 out of 24.
Perfect. You also heal 1 health point each night. So that 22 out of 22 is for you there, Leonard. So you're actually good. Sorry. My apologies. You regain one of your HD each night, which is what I was saying before. You regain one of your HD each night. So you as you spend that one, you gain that one back. So you could totally spend a second one right now, Leonard, to be at full. Or why? I'm just missing 1 health point. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at 21.
For you, Bastion, you probably, because you're missing 4 and you're like the front guy, you might want to spend yours.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Sure. And so this brings you back up to max health, but at the same time, it will reduce your total number of HD to 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I just lowered that. And I believe my sign recharge is full now, too.
Yeah, everything's full for that one. So with typical 5e D&D, you regain half of your HD overnight. So let's say you're level 10 and you spend all 10 of them. Today you would gain 5, and assuming you didn't spend any tomorrow, you would regain 5 more and be back up to max. That's how it usually goes. But in this, it goes slower. So you're going to regain only 1 of those a night. All right, so anyways, you the next morning you guys wake up and you want to go and speak to the mayor himself, and this is Spilt. So you kind of gather your things together, you get your stuff, probably have a little bit of chit-chat, nothing really noteworthy amongst
I'd probably caution against having Bastion there, just because
I'm like, well,
the Stallion's been around.
It's about the best one to talk to him. Don't think he likes me very much.
You're going to stay out here and you're not going to sleep with someone, okay? Can you manage that?
Can I flirt?
From a distance, a safe distance.
From a distance.
That works.
All right.
So any girl that walks by gets flirted with, basically.
I wonder if Bastion even knows he's flirting.
I mean,
Sometimes
he doesn't.
All right, so you guys go to meet with Spilt. You kind of like go. He doesn't like sit in his house all day, but you go to find.
I would probably check with Leonard what he actually wants to talk to the mayor with or about before we actually go in.
You guys have that chat as you're going about to find him. Go ahead.
So we've gotten rid of the one that he really, really, really doesn't like. That just leaves us with the person he doesn't really like and the person he doesn't really know. But that's fine. What do you intend to gain from this?
I'd say the best course to go is get payment for the werewolf and get payment for taking Bastion out of the city. I'm sure he'd be willing to pay either way.
Although he won't be quite as profitable out the city as in the work camp. So I don't know how he'd feel about that. Especially since you guys were supposed to be in the war camp.
He could try to send me back. It probably won't end very well.
I don't think he would try, but you know.
You'll just save me again, right, Bran? What you need us for anyway?
I I had an encounter with some witch hunters. They don't particularly like me.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if I have 2 witches around, that will help when they inevitably show up.
Did you do something to make them angry?
They came up and talked to me in the street, started accusing me of things, crimes.
With the
I didn't
accusation?
really take too kindly to that, and things happened from there.
I see. All right, very well. I assume it's a good cause. Maybe some ruffians, ruffian witch hunters. Usually they're pretty good guys, as far as I know. I've known a few of them. They never gave me any trouble, but I'm a witch.
You know how the Eternal Flame is. They don't like anyone that isn't a human.
Some
Special magic. Weird people. Anyway, let's go and have a word with the mayor.
Yes, I'm sure he'd be delighted to talk to us after last night. Bastion's display.
Yes. He was tossing some mean looks.
You noticed that? It didn't seem like it was that bad.
It was pretty bad.
It's probably all right. Let's go see him.
So when you guys find him, he's overlooking the work camp. And they're doing some quarrying today. And the 5 elves and the 2 dwarves are doing their quarrying of the stone over there. So as you guys approach, one of the other guards kind of like, hey. And he looks back that way where he was speaking to somebody else and one of the other guards. And he turns and he starts walking away. And he's got a politician's smile on his face. And he's like, of course, the heroes of our town. It's nice to see you 2 fine men.
Still have the work
Yes,
camp
hello,
running.
Mr. Spilt.
Yes.
Thought you would have learned a valuable lesson about trusting those who may not appear normal.
I've learned my lesson. Yes, I have. I know that there are folk that might look like us, but might not be like us, he says, and his eyes kind of go and linger on Bren for a moment. And we need to be wary of them wherever they may be hiding, even if they're right beneath your very nose or close to them, very close to them.
Yes, well, for all I know, you could be a werewolf too. And I put my hand on my sword, pat it, and then bring my hand back.
He goes, I'm sure you can investigate and find that there is no other werewolves in the area. That's what you're good at, isn't it? Sniffing out problems and resolving them.
Good enough to find more than one in a city.
Appreciated, he says, and kind of like allowing you to have the win.
Well, as much as this talk's been... as much as I've been enjoying this talk, we did come for a particular reason. We did save the day and kill the werewolf. As much as you might not like it, you might have to admit it. And we do intend on leaving with Bastion, which you might also be happy about. We just ask for some money as payment for the road and travels beyond.
Didn't I see you pilfering my friend's home for a while there?
We were trying to find the stolen goods that were taken from them when they were taken into custody at the time.
Wrongfully, I might add.
Don't know if it was wrongful. Rules were broken, and so justice was enacted. We are looking for payment. What payment should I offer to you? You did this of your own free will.
I had a contract with one of your guards, Max. He offered me 50 up front, which I accepted, with a promise of 150 gold after I defeated the werewolf, which we did.
Damn it.
Would you
Damn
not
that
honor
boy.
your man's debts?
Curse be to him. Curse be to him and his family. Fine, I will pay you the debts that was promised by one of my underlings.
Very well. And then we'll be gone. As soon as you'd like.
I hope to never see your feet tread on the soil again. And he angrily reaches over and grabs at this side to pull out some coin. Could you actually roll perception for me, both of you guys? So it's actually Bran that notices, because maybe Leonard is just kind of taking in the sights of the work that they're doing down below and kind of feeling bad that they're still down there. Maybe not. But he's taking that in. It's Bran who's watching this guy, kind of judging, that he sees the shift happen underneath his tunic, and he notices that he's wearing 2 chains that are very similar around his neck, and there's clearly something underneath his shirt right here. Everybody knows what's known, and you know what wasn't found.
Okay. I stay quiet for now.
Mm-hmm.
So is he's offering the coin?
So he goes over and he grabs he hands out the sack of coin.
Catch it. And then I'm hope to never see you again. I hold out my hand as a handshake.
One more thing, Mr. Mayor.
He looks down at your hands, but then happy for the distraction to not have to shake it, he looks over to Bran and says, "What can I do for you, friend?"
My companion and his friend are still missing one thing. And I think you might know what is still missing.
The warmth of their mother's tit to keep them normal as they were raised.
I think Bastian has found plenty of suitable replacement for that. No, sir. The thing we're still missing is their necklaces. And you seem to be wearing an awful lot of bling today.
He, his hand, kind of reaches up almost instinctively, but ever so slightly. Both you guys easily pick it up. But then goes back down, and he's like, these are the pendants passed down to me by my family. You can't see what they are because they're tucked into his tunic.
Can I inside him?
You don't need to. You can clearly tell he's lying.
Okay, in that case, I summon a firebolt in my hand. I'm not gonna throw it yet, but I'm gonna just hold a firebolt and sir, we just saved this town from a werewolf. My companions would like their things returned to them, and then we will never be here again.
Intimidation.
However, if you're gonna try to be difficult about it, then we can be difficult about it, and I would like to try and intimidate him.
You can have advantage, because obviously they saw you kill a werewolf the night beforehand, and you have magic in his face right now.
Yep.
I did a cute little spin. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's like, "Ugh, the shirt off my back," he says, as he pulls the chains over his head, and he throws them down at your feet, and there you see lying on the ground the beautiful, well-carved cat and griffin medallions in the dirt by your feet.
Cool. I'll take them both.
Okay.
My firebolt dissipates.
Snatching them both up, immediately as you snatch it up, you can feel them both vibrating with a bit of oomph to them. My words are they're vibrating a fervent, a very. Why can't my brain work? There's a lot of vibration to them that's happening right now within your hands, and so it takes you a moment, because obviously as a witcher, that triggers in your head. You kind of look around to take in, and then you remember there's a source right there, and and so it's kind of one of those oh yeah, okay, and your guard kind of goes down a little.
I'm gonna throw them both on my head just so I don't lose them.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Be like, all right. Anything else?
I think we're done here. And I just nod to the mayor. I was like, we'll trouble you no longer.
I'm gonna turn around, start walking with them, and then pause, turn back around, and be like, no one said we were cheap. And then I'm gonna leave.
And he's as you guys are not anywhere near, maybe half out of earshot, he's cursing, motherfucker, and one of the guards tries to calm him down, and he goes over and he's screaming at the guard and taking it out on him, and he's clearly just very frustrated with the situation.
Look at Brandon and be like, he seems very swell. Very nice mayor.
It was a pleasant chat, definitely.
You make your way over to Bastion and meet up with Bastion. Bastion is literally sitting, like there's a well over by the town. He's sitting on the well with his hand on the thigh of some young girl that he's talking to. And he's like, no, it's yeah. Oh, yeah, you should have seen the size of this creature that I was,
It's almost as big as me.
Bastion,
Oh,
I have something of yours.
what is it?
We're leaving. I'll show you on the road. Come on.
Okay. Sorry. I've got to be going now. Can she come with us?
No, she cannot come with us. Like, I don't even turn around. I'm just shouting it.
It's like, oh, wait, but and so she's like upset that you're kind of like walking off, took a couple of steps forwards, but you guys go walking down the road together.
Yeah. And as we're walking, I'll just take the chain off and toss it over to him.
Oh,
Found something
thank
there.
you. Did you help the prisoners I promised earlier?
Yes.
You did what?
Of course.
Did you help the prisoners I helped earlier? That's what I said to him. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that they're free now.
Yes, I observed. They seem like they're doing okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
Not technically lying.
And you guys make your way north out of town?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah, towards.
So guys, start making your way north out of town. Awesome. So,
And while we're on the road, I'll take the book out of my bag, hand it to Derp, and be like, "Get studying."
I'd look it over and think, monsters for dummies. That's not a bad idea.
Well, as a dummy, you might learn about them.
all right. So you guys are making your way out to north, and as you're walking down the road, it's late morning. The sun's kind of high in the sky, beating down on you, and you guys are walking probably 3 abreast or whatever it is. No horses or anything like that's your name. Just happy to be in your own clothing with your very comfortable weapons onto your back. We're gonna have the camera kind of like pull up and looking at the sky, and then just fade to black afterwards. So we're actually gonna end the first session here, and I do have to say we were saying this off stream before we came back. I always feel as though opening sessions are like one of my weakest things as a DM. It's one of the things like I genuinely stress about them. This is some of the most fun I've had on an opening session ever. Like, big kudos to you guys. That was so much fun. I love the way that you all worked together doing that. It was wicked awesome. We can actually spend this last little bit of time going over what your equipment is to make sure that we have it. So probably spend about 5-6 minutes finishing that up. To make sure that we are correctly armed and armored. But before we go over that equipment stuff, in case anybody does end up bouncing out of here, who are you, Messy, and how could we find you?
I'm a part-time Twitch streamer at twitch.tv/messy_cat, a member of the Robot College Guild, as is Dunspace, and is that Daelric in the chat?
Yeah.
The 3 of us, and some other people.
And who was that's also in chat? Oh, Daelric. Oh, okay, cool.
Daelric.
Hi. And Dunce, who are you? How can we find you?
I'm Dunspace. You can find me at twitch.tv/Dunspace, also twitter.com/Dunspace, as well as youtube.com/Dunspace.
We'll have to get Twitch triggers to get that done. I'll make you guys mods right now so you guys can also trigger those in the future so that we can click those as you do that. And Rick, send your derp. How can we find you?
Hi, my name is Derp Digital. You can find me on youtube.com/derpdigital. You can find me on twitch.tv/derpdigital, twitter.com/derpdigital, all the places. Nice and convenient. I'm not currently really doing anything because life's getting in the way a lot. So I'm just taking it easy, but I'll be back one day. Streaming, YouTubing, all that good stuff. For now, I'm here.
Awesome.
And sometimes that's enough.
Perfect. So, and I'm Daelric. You can Google me at Daelric.com. You can Google me or go to Daelric.com. I'm going to be live in an hour and 13 minutes over on Twitch.tv/Ollyrons, so we can watch a mediocre DM with a really good cast carry the show for him. So that'll be happening. And then tonight is back to Faded in the Stars on Twitch.tv/Lost Initiative Show. But, you can check that out later on. Let's get to getting our armor and weapons and stuff. So, On your actual character sheets, we're looking at Leonard first. You have your saber on there. You have your silver short sword on there. Coolio. As for armor, you're wearing, I believe, it's studded leather, which gives you, is it 12 plus dexterity?
I got no clue.
So I have, you can just go to, like I said, Google 5e armor, and then you can open up the SRD. That'll have that info in there for you. Or actually, what am I doing, you dummy pants? We're using Roll20. If you actually click the little icon with the eye on it, in the top right-hand corner, that's going to be the I forget what they call it, compendium or whatever it is.
Oh, look at that.
And you can literally type like leather, and it'll pop up everything that says leather. So like,
Very helpful, thank you.
Studded leather, you're welcome. And then I believe you can even drag and drop that onto your character sheet. So you can drag and drop studded leather. I'm going to do that right now for you. Bam. And now you're wearing it, and it gave you a +2 to your AC because it applies.
I gave myself the non-studded. Hold on.
I'll just delete that one. You're good.
All right, you get it. Wait, was that you doing that, or was that me doing that?
I'll do it right now for you. Bam. Problem solved.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks.
So your AC is at that 15 now, which is gorgeous, darling. As for you, Dunce, your armor, you're going to be wearing probably not hide armor. Let me see. You're probably wearing chain shirt is likely what you'd be wearing, which is the slightly better one. So, because you can't have like the super expensive stuff yet. Calm down. So you can do the same thing where you're going to actually grab over in the, you know how to do the compendium?
No.
The top right hand corner of the Roll20, you're going to press the little I with the black circle around it. In there, you're going to type, chain or chain shirt. Chain shirt's 2 different words, and then you can drag and drop that item onto your character sheet. Cool. That's armor. Both of you guys should have, or all 3 of you guys should definitely have daggers onto your character sheets. There's no question about that. I imagine each of you have 1 dagger.
I've got 3 now.
Yay.
Wow.
You have to give 1 of them to them. You have 2, and they each have 1. Put my foot down. This is super important.
Is there any difference between a regular dagger and that metal dagger?
No.
Okay, good. I'm just going to write them all down as regular daggers then.
Cool. And anything else on your sheets? So you have your medallions back. So you have the rest of your class features. You also have some like basic stuffs. So as for your potion making that you can do as a witcher, you're just going to be traveling along and collecting potions. I was trying to decide if I wanted to make you actually keep track of different types of like aether and stuff like that. And I was like, nah, let's just say you can make it super easy. Because it's a class feature as opposed to just being something that anybody can do if they have the know-how. So nah, you're not playing WoW. No getting So anything else about your items you're adding to your character sheets?
I don't think so.
Do I just drag and drop all of the ones that I plan on adding?
What are all the ones?
So I gotta add my shield and my longsword, right?
I think, was the longsword already added for you or no?
It wasn't added in the equipment.
Okay.
It was added in the attacks, but not the equipment.
For Bastion?
Well, for me,
I've only got my greatsword and my fists on my
So
set.
add the longsword, add the shield, and you already did the chain shirt, right? Which already applied to your AC? And it did, yes. Cool.
Yeah, but can I just drag and drop it? Would that work?
Correct. Yes, I want to say. Yes.
All right.
Yep, there's longsword and then shield. You can drop that on there and see if it works. I'm just going to bring your AC up to a 15, Bastion, which is nice. Which gets you up there with Leonard.
Heck yeah.
I mean, the
And then I'm here with a 9.
Well, the scarier creatures have like a +4. So 11 or higher to hit is a 50-50 shot. So
I'm
weaker
trying to
creatures
drag
less.
the shield in there. It doesn't seem like
It doesn't work?
it.
does it go in your equipment?
I don't see it anywhere. No.
Maybe because you're trying to drag and drop the spell shield as opposed to the item shield. Like I just added the item and it worked and it affected your AC.
I think I added mine right as you added yours.
Yeah. So
I can't see now. How do I get rid of one?
I got one. Boom. And then if we go over to spells, we got to delete three shield spells, which is pretty funny. So one of the things, a little bit of homework I'd like from the rest of you guys, the sooner the better, because it gives me an opportunity to actually get it done before next session, is look over, and this might be even a little bit more homework for Leonard than it is for Bastion, because you know the games better, but Bastion, I'm pretty sure you know them well enough. Look over your spells and what it is that they offer. Look inside the book for what it is they offer for the first, second, and third tier of what that spell does to make sure all three are hit, because you're not so powerful that you have all abilities unlocked. If you feel as though by 7th level you don't have all the abilities that like Axie, Yurden, or Ard or whatever should have, let me know so we can rephrase it in a way to make sure we feel like Witcher characters. Okay. So before we did it with what was it? What did we have the issue with? Axie. That may have already been covered in the book. You're just too early of a level, and I just wanted to handle it in the moment. So do that little bit of research. Anything for your character, Rick? I think you just kind of like walked in smoothly and just had a badass moment.
I'm pretty
to walk
good.
away.
I just remembered that I forgot to go over the contents of one like pack that I had from my background, but that's about it.
Oh,
Just need to have a look at my spells
yeah,
to see if they're all set up correctly.
Did you have the Monster Hunter pack?
Yeah, that's one I added in, but I also have one from the class.
Oh, gotcha. If you just look, so if it's for Monster Hunter, you look up the background, you'll see the details written, and then you can find that on the SRD as well. If you go for the other one, just look inside the PHB, and you'll find the details for that too. If there's an overlap, just kind of like throw away the overlap items. Honestly, it's going to end up being extremely heavy anyways for you. So
yeah.
All right. Any questions or anything, guys?
I think we're all right.
Cool. Good. I was glad we were able to kind of get this all done post-session. But all right, so we're going to head out of here. And we're going to be back next week, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to be lots of fun. Thank you all so much. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.